Okay, hello. So I wanted to share a trip I just went on, a little road trip. I drive for a retired faller, and he hires me to drive him wherever he wants to go because he has Parkinson's and lost his license. So, but he is definitely a man who needs to get out, especially being 40 plus years in the forest and stuff like that. So a lot of the times we're driving around with logging roads. I drive his big truck. So we're 4x up mountains and doing all kinds of fun stuff. I can stare at trees all day. So anyways, this trip we went on, we went to Hornby, which requires driving down island a little bit, and then catching a ferry over to Denman Island, which is a smaller island, and then jumping onto another ferry on the other side of that island, and heading to even smaller island called Hornby. And I've heard about the magic of this place, and I felt it. I've seen it, I experienced it all along the way. Okay, so the first place we got to, so a lot of times I'm only giving pictures here and there because I'm driving. So a lot of the shots, also because it's on his dime, I'm not like, I need to stop and spend, 20 minutes meditating with this beautiful tree that I see, which I want to do. Okay, there was a few trees that I just wanted to go lie down with and spend at least 3 days with, So anyways, I'm usually just like slowing down or pulling over or stopping, taking a quick picture from the driver's seat and carrying on. So anyways, the first place we went to was this beach called Tribune Bay, and it's gorgeous. It's on the south end of the island, which is the most open to the ocean and its elements, which was very much apparent while we were on this beach. We walked down to the beach, sat for half a second. For me, my eyes water just like if there's air. So this high blowing breeze was just like a water fountain coming out of my face. So we went down and we checked out this beautiful beach. There was gorgeous sticks and logs. I picked one to take home with me for my birds and have in my garden. I tried to collect rocks or branches or just tiny mementos from some of the places that we go. And so I have my Hornby wood, and I also found a feather. It could be a duck or a goose feather, maybe a Canadian goose. Hard to say. I'd have to look it up. Then we went on our way, and we made it to. We basically just drive around, check out like houses, and go find beach access spots, and look and see and explore. And as we were pulling out of this one beach exit spot, I totally saw all this lichen on this rock, and I'm like, just a second! So I just like popped open the door, jumped out, had a little half a second with this lichen on the side of the road, and then we were back at it again. So cruising around, we drove down and around to the other side. So when you first land in the Hornby ferry, the road takes you left, and you have to kind of go all the way around the edge of the island, and you can go all the way around to the other side. You can't turn right because all right is just like rock face, like wildness. So there's no roads going through there. So you have to go to get someplace that would take you 5 minutes if you went right from the ferry. You have to actually drive all the way around the island to get to it. But man, was it worth it. So you hit this cliff edge bank road, and the trees that line it are gorgeous. There's a huge cliff on the one side of this road, but way down at the bottom is this huge field with cattle, gorgeous trees, big honking ones, some sort of farmland or something, just wide open spaces on the bluff, and then there's like the ocean. And so right when we hit this part of the road, the clouds broke, the sun came out, there was like this bright diffused, it was just gorgeous. And of course, I'm driving, right? So I'm like, oh, look at it. I'm driving, trying not to run off the road or, kill anybody. You go all the way down, and there's no place to pull over, which was, unfortunate. So we drive all the way down, and it ends up heading to a dock. So we go down to the bottom there. We park, kind of look over. They've got all the cool rocks that are all like cavernous and carved with lots of holes and stuff like that. And then we turn around and came back up. On the way back up, first of all, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So then I spot this, I don't know if it's like a water tank or something, but it's got this beautiful mural on it. And when we drove by it on the way down, I'm like, we got to stop, and I got to take a picture of this beautiful mural, right? So we drive down this tiny little road, which was just like driveways at the end, turn around, came back, took a couple pictures of this mural, and then I realized when I saw the artist's signature that it's Tessa. She's this artist that I bought a piece from. She was showcased at a spirit fair I went to in Comox, and her stuff is amazing. I'll leave a link to her Instagram on in the description, if I remember. And it's funny, like I got to talk to her. I got the kind of the backstory on the painting that I ended up buying off of her, a print off of her, and she like goes on site and does like meditative work and channels whatever energy is there. And this piece that I got after she channeled everything, she was speaking to the regulars or whatever, the locals, and they basically confirmed or recognized the goddess that she was drawing as their local goddess, and the spirit animals and stuff like that this goddess was all in her painting already. And so just like super cool magical stuff. And another side thing that was really cool about this artist is that after I talked to her, there was something really familiar about her work, and I was drawn to this it was almost like a comic book / coloring book / I think they used to call them zines. And it was back in like 2000, so 25 years ago, when I was living in Victoria, and there was like this cool bookstore, and I saw this thing in there and was like, what is this? Like, I love the style and everything, and it just, it really inspired me, and so I bought it, and I still have it. I still have it somewhere, and so I had to dig it up, and it turns out it's the same artist, and that was one of her first things that she published and kind of got out into the world. And so I just thought that was a really cool full circle moment. And yeah, when I was over here on Hornby and seeing her work on this water thing, I got it. I understood it, because there were so many magical things on this island. Like, there were so many trees that just called, that just were just like, I am in touch with the natural world here. There are tiny little fairy spirits that live here. Like, it's just, oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. So anyways, that was that little story. Then on the way back up the hill, the cliff, the road with the view that showed, I had nowhere to pull over. I picked a spot and I just stopped in the middle of, on my side of the road. And I just kind of like put my hand out the window over the hood of the car, the truck, and just tried to take photos of what we were seeing, because it was so freaking magical. But it just, your eyes and the format of the camera, it just is not the same thing. You don't have your peripheral or whatever. And then plus I was getting the freaking top of the truck in there, and this truck came up behind me. And I was like, oh shit, what do I do? And it just like freaking flew past, unfazed. It was almost like they were used to people coming and stopping on this freaking road to take pictures or something. So then I got in, I'm like, okay, I should move, and then pulled up a little bit more, and there was a little tiny bit of a pull over spot, and so I pulled over there, and then I took some actual, like, where I got out of the truck. What I do is I open the door, and then I kind of stand, so I'm standing up on the, anyways, I was more able to take better pictures, but better being not the top of the truck, but still not capturing everything the magic and everything that we were seeing with our eyeballs. But I think I got some pretty cool shots of just the trees that were lining that cliffside, and then of course you can see through and kind of get a sense of the kind of things that we were seeing, but it's still like, it was just not giving it justice. This is definitely a sight to see in real time, and I would actually walk up and down this freaking hill just to be able to take it in, take the pictures. I also want to frolic so much across that like field. Oh my god, I was like picturing myself breaking out into the sound of music. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Because they were. I could hear it. Anyways, moving on, we found another little beach access spot. His daughter-in-law and family, well, I guess his son's family, they come to this island like every year and camp, and so he was trying to find like their campsite and stuff like that, which we ended up finding. This was a little beach area, pull-out beach access spot that we checked out. And over to the left there, I was like, what is that in the forest? There's something over there. What is it? And I asked a local if they lived there, and they were, so yeah, they were local. And they said that it was just like a yoga hut, like a covered deck, partially covered deck, and that, you know, if I really wanted to, I could just walk up from the beach and check it out, and nobody would care. And yeah, we didn't do that this time, but I did zoom in and get a better shot of it, and look at it. Oh my god, it looks so cool. We ended up going down another road called Little Tribune Day, and we found the campsite that he thinks that's where his family comes and camps all the time, and this pavilion is attached. Yeah, there was like a trail that I spied through, that I could see, like, oh, there it is out there. It's totally part of this campsite, so that's pretty cool. There was also like a gorgeous little community area. It had like a co-op and the grocery store and the post office, and there was like a pizzeria and a bakery and ice cream shop and farm to table restaurant, eatery, pottery, like this cool little place that would probably just be so adorable in the summer, filled with locals and tourists alike, and just buzzing and cozy, and I could see it like filled with lights and maybe live music. I don't know, but it seems like it's a really awesome little place. And yeah, and then it's just more beach access points that we were seeing, and then in between driving along and checking out all the different houses. So many cool little houses, lots of old ones, windows, and not a lot of running water, so everybody's got like those water tanks and stuff like that. And yeah, very small island. Look it up if you've never heard of Hornby. And then and it's obviously surrounded by oceans and stuff like that. It probably takes about, I don't know, an hour, less than an hour if you're just driving straight to go all the way around the island. And then, there's also so many trails. Like, we were just hitting the beaches and stuff like that because they're things that we can just drive up into and check out without having to commit. He's not much of a walker. So when I do get him out walking, it's a good thing, I think. So then, I'm just like, this tree. Oh, this was when we were leaving one of the beach sites. Driving by, I saw this tree. Obviously it drew my attention. It's covered in moss, and I noticed this red thing on it. Where is it? There it is. This red tree. Let me move these guys here. No. Okay. This red thing on the tree, and so I'm like, what the heck is that? So I zoomed in, and it was some kind of woodpecker. I actually should look him up because he's not a downy woodpecker, because they just have the little crown that's red, the males. And this guy was fully red-headed, but he just sat there and he looked at me when I pulled the camera out and took a picture, and then he just carried on with his task. And and this tree here was another gorgeous side of the road situation that, oh my goodness, I absolutely loved. I wanted to live there for 3 weeks. I don't know, I just moved right in. I just drape myself all across it and talk to the fairies. That's what I wanted to do. And then one of the beach access spots, we saw some Canadian geese flying around, and I share my pictures with the guy that I drive with. His name is Chris, and so I upload them up onto a shared folder so that he can access them as well, and he really likes the geese and the ducks and the swans and all the flying things, so I got this little video for him, and and then there were some coming in from the other way. They were just, I don't know what they're doing, they're trying to figure out what the heck they were doing. Anyway. Then we came across this community center that looked pretty cool, just the way it was built and structured. But again, it was like an afterthought. As we were driving past it, I kind of was like, oh, maybe I should take a picture. And so I just kind of throw my hand out with the camera out the window and grab a shot, So that's what that shot is. Then we stopped at this graveyard on the way. We saw it on the way in, so we made a point to stop and check it out on the way back. And we had picked up lunch at the little grocery store area there that I mentioned, and so we stopped and ate in the parking lot of this this graveyard, and we see this person standing out there, and we're just like, oh yeah, there's somebody out there, whatever. And this whole time, like, the angle that I could see, I wish I would have got a picture of what we could see, because it was like, what is this person doing? Like, they've been standing there for a long time. And then finally, after we ate, go out and start walking around to check out, and I noticed that this was the person that was standing there, and we were wondering why they weren't moving around. It was because it's a freaking statue. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, I just love the aesthetic of graveyards, and I like the textures and everything, and just, I don't know, there's just something about it. And the graveyard that we checked out over on Denman, which is the ferry, or the island that you have to get to first to get to Hornby, or go through first, there was a gravestone with my name on it, which was crazy. So yeah, this was one of the spots that we went and checked out, and there was some gorgeous things, but one of the main sculptures that I was looking for is coming up here, and that was kind of why I wanted to stop. But yeah, this one here was interesting. They've got some sort of sculpture on the, or I don't know, is that a rune or something on the forehead there? I thought I maybe got a closer up shot, but tons of crystals and rocks all in there. It's like somebody comes and visits, brings a little crystal and adds it, which is beautiful. And where was that one? Oh, this one here. So this one is, I just thought was really interesting because you've got these posts and there's chains hanging off of them. And the posts are all like sunken and down. I don't know, this isn't a really great shot. But I'm like, what are those chains for? Is it like holding this thing from floating away? Like, what the hell? But then later on I saw another one, and it's kind of like creating a little, like a little fenced area with these posts and the chain to kind of keep things from crossing into the grave plot, right? And it's just been there for so long that it's grown over. But this one here, I immediately was drawn to it because it's got this metal broomstick, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I went up to the plaque, and there was a rose face down covering the name. And so I went to like move the rose over slightly so I could see the name, and the rose fell off the the whole bud, flower, whatever you call that, head of the rose dropped. So I picked it up and turned it over, and I just placed it underneath where it is now and checked out the name. And so that was a really cool little, I don't know, moment. Like, what's this rose doing? It also just snowed like crazy, and this rose is like, I also wished, I don't know what, it's because I just ate and I was distracted. And so my pictures were quick, and I knew my time was limited, and I wanted to go through this whole graveyard. So yeah, I regret not taking a closer up picture of the rose, but it is what it is. I also was distracted because this was the statue that I really wanted to check out. I just thought it was gorgeous, and she was calling to me. So yeah, it was an artist whose grave this belonged to, and this statue was obviously Mother Mary, or Mary Magdalene. Beautiful, beautiful statue. But something that was standing out even more to me is that she is standing on a snake, crushing it. Look at it. She is standing on the snake and crushing it. And then you've got these two stars coming together underneath it. And holy, did that I don't know, there's something about that. It's like the snake represents like overthinking and doubts and fears, and she's stepping on it so that these two stars can come together. And anyways, there's just something magical about that. That's what I read from this picture with Mary Magdalene. Okay. So then this one here was an old, it looked like a really old gravestone that recently someone had colored in the, what is it when you take away, it's like a relief, and it was running a bit. Just so you can read it better, they like colored it in black or whatever in the little divots. And this one was cool. This was like a slab of, it looked like quartz or something like that, and that was really beautiful. I loved this just fairy house. Somebody please, like, let's make something like that and live in it, okay? And then this one too, lots of beautiful flowers, wild fairies. You know, there were so many little details of things going on in this one. Again, I just kind of had to take photos so that I could zoom in later and really check it out when I was wearing my glasses. And then this freaking house, look at it. Oh my goodness. Now this is the kind of stone or rock that I was talking about that is all around Hornby. Like, it's the pitted, you know, water warped stone, which is gorgeous because it's like a testament of time, right? And this stone, this grave here was for a 4-year-old, which I found out when I, you know, was zooming in later at the gravestone. And yeah, I'm not sure what was going on with that one. Oh, this one, I was taking pictures of the snowdrops that are there visible. And then this one, this Aloha Buddha, happy with the shells. And I mean, it was just really such a beautiful place. And there was so much more. There was so much more that I didn't get to go see and do. And definitely would go back again and spend some more time. There was this, I don't know, it was like a park or somebody's yard or something, but they had created all these wood sculptures. There were wood spears hanging from the trees, and like giant mushrooms made out of wood, driftwood, and you know, crystals hanging from the thing. Like, it just looked magical. Like, you could just walk around and check it out. And again, by this time we were heading back to the ferry, so we didn't really have time to go and walk around and check it out. But yeah, there was lots of really, really cool places. And the houses, oh my goodness, like, what are people doing over there? How, and how many years? Like, I want to know the history. I want to know it all. But mostly I just want to explore in the forest and roll around in all the mossy trees. Okay, and that's it. So that, let me know if you like my trip to Hornby and my pictures. Yeah, and have a great day. Okay, bye.